Dear friends, good morning, Namaskar. You are welcome in part 13 of the series. Before we start, let us see what we have covered in part 12. We have discussed the steps taken by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to award the relief to MSME sector from recovery process and also proposed steps of relief under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. RBI conducted a systematic risk survey to capture the participants of experts on the major risk faced by the financial system, which is published in Financial Stability Report that 60% of MSME respondents thinks that the chance of recovery in 6 months is bleak. Fund raised by MFIs during the last 4 months rupees 1555 crores in comparison to the corresponding period of the last year was only rupees 355 crore. It means funds this year raised 4 times than earlier. Funds was accessed through TLTRO and PCG. RBI has already announced 1.5 lakh crore in 2 tranches is under TLTRO. What is TLTRO? TLTRO is Targeted Liquidity Long Term Repo Operation. What is PCG? PC is Partial Credit Guarantee Scheme. So under these two things, this amount has been released. Bank have purchased commercial papers of rupees 14,667 crore issued by 67 NBFCs. As per report published in February 2020, the status of 55.80 million MSMEs is 14% led by women and 59.5% in rural areas. It contributes 31% of GDP and 45% of exports and helping in generation of 124 million employments all over the country. What are happening during this week? The government is looking at the way to implement the decision to have a special window of MSME. The government is looking at a system where founder or promoter get the first chance to prepare the resolution plan. If the proposal is accepted to the lenders, it will be approved by the NCLT. I am of the considered view that if at this stage the services of MCA empaneled mediators can be used for easy, amicable, earlier and acceptable resolution. RBI proposes to establish new organization known as NIIF, means National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, to fund all the infrastructure projects in future. So the expertise of these projects can be utilized properly. Now we will discuss the relief measures taken by government under stimulus package for their initial results if available. Government has increased the contract period by 6 months, means if the project is stopping today, it will give 6 months more to continue with that without any fine or without anything. And in the same way, PPP projects, yani public private partnership projects, will be continued with a concession rate for another 6 months, and this period can also further be increased by 3 months. And in the same way, government also directed the departments to release at least 90% of the completed project, means if you have completed 90% of the project, you will get the 80% of the amount. So in this way the liquidity will increase. COVID-19 is declared as force majeure. What is the effect of the force majeure? Force majeure effect is that due to the act which is not in the hands of or which is not in the control of the human being and cannot be completed, so that work, that contract comes under force majeure, and the registration and completion date extended by 6 months suo motu under RERA without any application from 25th March 2020. Regulatory authority under RERA is also permitted to extend 3 months in case of need. Now we will discuss force majeure and its benefits. The term force majeure has been defined in Black's Law Directory, and it has also been explained under Section 32 of the Indian Contract Act. A force majeure clause in a contract would typically include an exhaustive list of events such as act of God, war, terrorism, earthquake, hurricanes, act of government, explosions, fire, plague, or epidemics, or a non-exhaustive list wherein the parties simply narrates what generally constitute force majeure event and thereafter add and such other acts or events that are beyond the control of the parties. Also directed to issue fresh project registration certificate automatically under revised timeline. Accordingly, all timeline for statutory compliance under RERA extended concurrently. In order to provide more funds at the disposal of the taxpayers, the rate of tax of deduction at source अर्थात TDS for non-salaried specified payments made to the residents and rate of tax collection at source for the specified receipt shall be reduced by 25% of the existing rate. Payment for contract, professional fee, interest, rent, dividend, commission, brokerage, etc. shall be eligible for this reduced rates. It means wherever you have given your PAN card, you are eligible for 10% TDS, but in these change circumstances you have to pay only 7.5%. Wherever you have not provided your PAN card, there they are charging 20%. Now it is reduced to 15%, but it is clear that it is applicable only on non-salaried people. It means salaried people have to pay as they were paying earlier. So there is no concession for the salaried people in this. The reduction shall applicable for the remaining part of the year 2021, that is with immediate effect and up to 31st March 2021. Though this measure liquidity of rupees 50,000 crores will increase during the financial year 2021. It is also directed that all the pending refunds to the charitable trust and non-corporate business and professions, including proprietorship, partnership, LLP and cooperative, shall be issued immediately. It means this is not applicable on private limited company and public limited company. For all others, it has been directed that the refund order should be released as early as possible. The date for filing the income tax return for the year 2019 and 20 extended to November 30th, 2020. The date of assessment getting barred on 30th September 2020 extended to 31st December 2020, and those getting barred on 31st March 2021 will extend to 30th September 2021. Period of Vivad Se Vishwas scheme for making payment without additional amount will be extended to 31st December 2020. Special provision for withdrawal of EPF under COVID-19 brings the fruitful result to have liquidity of rupees 30,000 crores. In part 14, we will appear with the new and latest issues related to MSME. I am also eagerly waiting for your comments, suggestions, questions to be taken up in the next part. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and push bell icon to get notifications immediately after release of next video. Next video will come by Friday अर्थात शुक्रवार. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Shukriya. Bye.